Do you ever feel lost in English conversations? You hear the words, but they just seem to fly right past you, like trying to catch mist in your hands.
You can understand your teacher perfectly in a quiet classroom, but when you watch a movie or listen to a podcast, suddenly it feels like a completely different language. You hit rewind again and again, trying to catch that one phrase, and the frustration builds. What if I told you that the problem isn't your ears? The problem is how you're listening. There's a powerful switch you can flip in your brain, a way to transform from a passive hearer into an active listener. Today, I'm going to give you the key to unlock that switch and finally start understanding English clearly, confidently, and without constantly hitting the pause button.
Hello, my friends, and welcome. So, what is this secret weapon I'm talking about? It's called active listening. Many of us, when we listen to English, are actually just hearing it. This is passive listening. Think about when you have music playing in the background while you work. You can hear it, you know it's there, but are you paying attention to the lyrics, the instruments, the melody? Probably not. Your brain is treating it as background noise. This is what many learners do with English. They let the sounds wash over them, hoping to absorb the language. Active listening is completely different. It's a conscious, focused effort. It means you are fully engaged, not just with your ears, but with your brain. You aren't just hearing sounds, you are decoding a message, understanding a purpose, and connecting with the speaker. When you listen passively, you might catch a few words here and there. When you listen actively, you start to catch ideas, emotions, and the true meaning behind the words. This isn't just a theory. It's about how our brains learn. Active engagement creates stronger neural pathways. It tells your brain, hey, this is important. Pay attention and remember this. Passive hearing, on the other hand, tells your brain, this is just noise. You can ignore it. So if you're tired of feeling like you're always missing the point, it's time to stop just hearing and start truly listening. Today, we're going to learn exactly how to do that, step by step. All right, let's start with our first technique, which is incredibly simple but surprisingly powerful. Predict before you listen. So what does predict mean? It just means to guess what will happen or what someone will say. Before you press play on a podcast, a video, or even before you walk into an English conversation, take 10 to 15 seconds to think. What is this topic about? What words do I expect to hear? Let me give you an example. Imagine you're about to listen to a podcast about food. Before you even start, you can ask yourself, okay, a podcast about food, what might they talk about? Your brain will immediately start generating vocabulary. Cooking, recipes, ingredients, vegetables, fruits, restaurants, sweet, spicy, delicious, bake, fry, grill. You've just created a mental word bank. You've primed your brain for the topic. Now, when you start listening, your brain is already on the lookout for those words. It's ready. It's warmed up. Let's try another one. Imagine you're going to watch a video about travel. Pause for a moment. What words come to mind? Airport, ticket, passport, flight, hotel, vacation, explore, adventure, beach, mountains. You see how this works? This simple habit gets your brain ready for what it's about to hear. When your brain is ready, it works faster and more efficiently. It's like warming up before you exercise. You prepare your muscles for the activity. Predicting prepares your brain for listening. This is a very helpful habit. It makes a huge difference because it turns listening from a reactive activity, where you're just trying to keep up, into a proactive one, where you are anticipating and engaging. So try this simple habit. Before you listen, stop for 10 seconds and ask yourself, what is this about? What do I think I will hear? This small step makes a big difference. Part 3. Technique 2. This is where many English learners make this same mistake. They try to understand every single word. The moment they miss one word, they panic. Their brain gets stuck on that one missed word, and then they miss the next 5 sentences. Does that sound familiar?
Here's the truth, my friend. You don't need to understand every word to understand what someone is saying. So our second technique is to listen for the main idea. We call this listening for the gist. Instead of stressing about every single word, focus on the big picture. Ask yourself simple questions as you listen. Who is speaking? What are they talking about? Where is this happening? Why are they saying this? Let's do a quick exercise. I'm going to say a short paragraph. Don't worry about understanding every word. Just try to get the main idea. Ready? I had a really tough day at the office. We had an unexpected deadline, so I had to skip lunch and work late. By the time I finally got on the train to go home, I was so exhausted I could barely keep my eyes open. Now, did you understand every single word? Maybe not. Maybe the word deadline or exhausted was new. But did you get the main idea? You probably understood that the speaker had a bad, long, and tiring day at work. See? You understood the main message without needing to know every single word. This is the goal. When you focus on the main idea, you relax. When you relax, you actually understand more. Native speakers use new words, idioms, and slang all the time. You won't always know every word, and that's okay. You don't have to stop and check the dictionary every time. Instead, focus on the main idea. Try to understand the big picture.
This brings us to our third technique, which is a game changer. Listen more than once. It sounds simple, right? But most learners listen to something one time, don't understand everything, get frustrated, and give up. Good listeners listen more than once. They repeat the audio, they pause, they listen again, and you can do this too. I recommend a 3-listen method. First listen. On your first listen, just focus on the main idea, like we just discussed in Technique 2. Don't pause, don't worry about new words, just try to get a general understanding of the topic. What is the overall message? Second listen. Now listen again. This time, you can pause when you hear a word or phrase you don't understand. Write it down. Your brain already knows the general context from the first listen, so it would be much easier to guess the meaning of new words. This is your treasure hunting phase where you find new vocabulary to learn. Third listen. On your third listen, pay attention to the music of the language. Listen for the pronunciation. How do the words connect together? Notice the rhythm and the intonation, the rise and fall of the speaker's voice. You might even try to read a transcript if one is available and listen at the same time. Each time you listen, you understand more. Each time your brain becomes stronger. Each time your confidence grows. So remember, one time is not enough. 2 or 3 times is much better. Listening happens little by little, layer by layer. Part 5. Technique 4. Become a parrot with shadowing. 3501 to 4500. All right, are you ready for a technique that will feel a little strange at first but is incredibly effective? This is technique number 4, shadowing. What is shadowing? It's simple. You listen to a speaker and you repeat what they say at the same time, just a second or two behind them. You become their shadow, or like a parrot imitating their sounds. Why does this work? Because it forces you to focus not just on the meaning, but on the sounds, rhythm, and intonation of English. It's one of the best ways to improve your pronunciation and your ability to understand the flow of natural spoken English. Many learners have told me that this is the listening technique that changed my life, and I believe it can do the same for you. Let's try it. I will say a simple sentence. I want you to say it with me at the same time. Ready? Hello, my friends, welcome back. Now, let's try a longer one. Today, we are going to learn some great new skills. Okay, you can do this with any audio. Start with just 30 seconds or a minute a day. You can use a podcast, a YouTube video, or an audiobook. Don't worry if you can't keep up perfectly at first.
The goal is to get your mouth moving and your ears tuned to the rhythm of English. Okay, now let's look at technique number 5. This is something that native speakers do all the time without even thinking about it. We're going to learn how to do it consciously. The technique is use context to guess new words. What is context? Context means the other words around the new word, the story or the feeling in the sentence. When you don't know a word, you can look at the words before and after it to guess the meaning.
Let me show you how this works. Here's a sentence. I was starving, so I ate 3 sandwiches. Maybe you don't know the word starving. That's okay, but think about the context. The person ate 3 sandwiches. Do you eat 3 sandwiches when you're a little hungry or when you are very, very hungry? You probably guessed it. Starving means very, very hungry or extremely hungry. You understood the word without a dictionary. You used the context. Let's try another one. We had to cancel the picnic because it started pouring. Maybe you don't know the word pouring, but you know what a picnic is. It's an outdoor activity. And you know they had to cancel it. What would make you cancel a picnic? Probably bad weather, right? So what does pouring mean? It probably has to do with rain. And you'd be right. Pouring means raining very heavily. You see, your brain is smart. It will help you. This is how good listeners understand more, even when some words are new. This directly helps you learn how to understand fast-speaking English because you won't get stuck on every unfamiliar word. You'll use the clues around it to keep the conversation flowing in your mind. Part 7. Technique 6. The most important rule, stay focused. All right, now let's talk about our final technique for today, which is perhaps the most important of all. Technique number 6, don't multitask. Stay focused. Let's break that down. What is multitasking? Multitasking means trying to do 2 or more things at the same time. For example, listening to English while checking your phone, watching a video while cooking, or playing English audio while writing an email. This may sound like a good idea. You're busy, so you want to save time. All right, thank you for joining me today. We've talked about 6 powerful active listening techniques. Predicting before you listen, focusing on the main idea, using the 3 listen method, shadowing, using context to guess, and the crucial rule of staying focused without multitasking. Remember, becoming a confident English listener doesn't happen overnight. It's skill you build with practice, just like going to the gym. But by using these techniques, you are giving your brain the best possible workout. Thank you for listening. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep believing in yourself. If you found these techniques helpful and you're ready to take your English to the next level, please give this video a like and be sure to subscribe to English Globe for more lessons to help you shine. See you in the next video.